What is up, guys? We are back at it like a bad habit. If you want something better, go grab it. Dex says that, not me. anyways, we're back. I've been doing video editing for quite some time now, and I get a lot of comments. People ask me what software do I use, how do I edit my videos, how do you do that cool effect, whatever, that tech stuff, whatever they want to know. Anyways, I thought it would be a cool idea to kind of do a video series where I share cool things that I know, and the first thing will be video editing. And yeah, let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. The first question that I get is, what editing software do I use? So I use Adobe Premiere. There are a lot of alternatives that you can check out. There's Filmora, there's DaVinci Resolve, there's Shortcut. But most of these do share the same principles. So the stuff I'm teaching you here might apply with the other editing softwares, Okay, so with that being covered, let's just go straight to it and get started. So I have my Adobe Premiere open right now, and don't worry much about this. This is just, your home screen. Let's create a new simple project. Let's just say edit video 1. So on this little dialog box, whatever the hell you call this, this screen, you don't really have to worry much about the settings here, unless you know what they're for, But for the most part, you won't be messing around with a lot of these settings here. So we can go ahead and continue. All right, now once this is up, might look a bit overwhelming. I know. At first when I saw this, I'm like, what the hell? What is happening? I don't know what the hell. Where do I even start? So to give you a quick general UI walkthrough so you understand what you're looking at, first we have on top here our different workspaces. So depending on what you're doing, if you're just doing simple editing, if you're doing color, you get access to color panels where you can edit specific colors and get a bit more advanced tools on the colors in your video that you want to edit. What am I saying? What is English even? We have our effects editing. This is the one I'm mostly on because it gives me access to all my effects. It's all set up for adding effects to your videos. We have audio, which is strictly just for audio. All your audio stuff you can do on here. So for the most part, you don't want to be dragging around all these windows. So if you're just editing audio, instead of trying to drag audio window into your effect panel, just keep it here on your audio panel. Is it a panel? Is it a screen? Whatever it is, you know what I mean. There's graphics, there's libraries. I think there's much more panels. Workspaces. That's what I said workspaces, but why am I saying panels now? Anyways, so on the editing panel, basically where I spend most of my time, to give you an aspect of what's happening here, is we have our source window. So all your source, you know what? I think it's much better when I show you this through while I'm doing something, so you guys get a better understanding. But the first thing you want to know is that this is where you're going to be importing all your stuff. Your bin. There's going to be your media browser here, so you can browse around to find all the footage that you want to use. So let me find a quick clip that I want to edit. Just go around, search, blah 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 blah. Let's drag and drop. Beautiful, easy. So now I have my clip that I want to edit here. Drag everything you want here. It's audio, it's video, images, everything you want. Just drag it in here. You might have some issues sometimes with the formatting of that specific file type, because Adobe Premiere does support a lot of file types. But if you're having issues, there might be a bit of Googling. You might have to have to convert some of your videos. It's a bit of a struggle sometimes, but for the most part, you won't have issues. Just drag and drop straight from your camera, straight from your computer, wherever. And then here, this is basically where your project will live and breathe. This will be the timeline. So this timeline is basically where everything is going to happen. So that's been the timeline, and right here we have the program. This will be basically the output of whatever you put into the timeline, so you can give it a nice little preview. But enough talking, let's get this started. So double click on my little clip here. You can see that it's just me doing some squats during my streams. So here I can check out my audio, I can check out my video, give it a nice little preview. And now I want to drag this video into the timeline and get started with my editing. I'm gonna drag that. And when I say drag, okay, actually, there's multiple ways you can drag your source clips or your source whatever into the timeline. If it's audio, you only be able to drag the audio. If it's video only, you only be able to drag the video. But if I drag it just from here to here, you see it will drop the audio and the video. So here, this is my timeline. Give you a quick little breakdown of the timeline. All my visual stuff is going to be up here. So be my pictures, my images, or my video, and all the audio will be right down here. You can expand these to how large you want them to be, but the default size should be just fine. So let's do that again. I just dragged it all the way here. See, drags both my audio and my video. You can check that out. But if I want to say drag this, but drag only the audio, I would drag from this little audio icon that you see over here. Now it will only be the audio, or I can drag it to be just the video. Bam, magic, easy. So to give you the basics of editing and the stuff you're going to be using a lot, trimming. You're going to be trimming a lot of your clips. You're going to be like, I don't want this part here. I don't want this part here. So teach you how to trim, cut up your footage. You know, potty mouth. So if I wanna perfectly cut up me being a potty mouth right there in that video, I can just press C. Shortcut is C, or the icon is right here with the razor tool, and you can just use it to cut exactly where your marker is. This blue thing right here, that will be your marker. Delete, bam, now the video will start just here. Potty mouth deleted. Potty mouth deleted. But Quentin, what about this part here? You know, we're gonna go over here, it's just gonna be black, and then it's gonna start. So instead of dragging your stuff all the way there, I mean, that is one way to do it. You can just drag it all the way there. It'll just snap to the beginning. Another quick way to do it, just click on the empty spaces, press delete, does it for you. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Another thing you're gonna be doing is time remapping. This will be doing some slow-mo, doing some speed up, doing some reverse if you want to. If you want to get some of those cool effects, you can just right click on it, go to speed and duration, and basically this is where your speed is, where you're going to handle your speed. Now if you want it to be slow-mo, you can just take this speed down to 50%. Some people do use 40%, whatever percentage you want the speed to be in. This is how you can speed it up, this is how you can slow it down. Perfect tool right here. And this will just reverse your whole clip, right? This will reverse your whole clip that you have highlighted right here. But if I want to reverse just a single portion and not reverse the whole clip, how do I do that? Let me show you. So I cut, see this what I'm doing right here? I just want to make that slow-mo, right? I get it right there, I cut it. So same razor tool can just use to cut, and bam, I have my clip from the beginning throughout this to start to the end. And now we can just remap this. But note, if you are going to make it longer, right? If you're going to make it longer, slow-mo, this little bar right here, this footage clip, whatever, will get longer. So it might overlap some of your stuff right here. So sometimes you might have to make space for it. Right? You might have to make a little bit of space. And then speed duration, let's put it to 50, bam. Now if we play, then it goes back. Right, perfect. So let me just test if what I said there was true. Let's try doing it without doing that. See, wait, it didn't overlap, but it just got stuck behind. You know, it just got stuck behind. So now if I want to reverse this clip, if I want to say reverse this that I'm doing right here, I can just right click on it, speed and duration, go back to that same panel, reverse. Basically, it's weird to watch, but that's how you do the reversing effect on it. So I've taught you how to trim, I've taught you how to cut up your footage, specific portions of it. If I want this part, I can just see, bam. Now this part is on its own. I can edit it on its own, add its own effects, time remap it however the hell I want. So these are your timeline basics. These are most of the stuff, you know, how you're gonna work with your footage right here. You gotta get very comfortable with the timeline. But now, how are you gonna work with multiple sources, multiple footage, multiple clips, multiple, you know, a lot of things. Now, how are you gonna make that work? So if I drag just a few more random clips over here, let's just get a few more. Let's get some images. We'll get some images to work with, and I'll basically show you how we can do that. So now we have this little clip of me breathing out fire right here, and I'm like, hey, I want this to play at the beginning of the video, be it your intro or whatever. I want this to be my intro. You can just drag that, make some space for it, as you see, drag it over on top. Don't drag it on top of this one. It'll just erase whatever portion is there, just override it. It's horrible. Never do that. So just drag it on top. Sometimes it will get messy with the amount of clips you're going to be dragging on top of each other, and you might just end up stacking it all the way to the top. But I will teach you all about nested loops and nested sequences and everything in some upcoming videos. But for now, I'm just going to be covering some timeline basics. So that's pretty much how you're going to add your other clip. You can just drag over the ones you want to move, and now at the beginning will be that. So now another thing you notice there is that in my source here, this video is much smaller, but right here, this video is much bigger. So because the timeline in Adobe Premiere, whatever video I drag over to the timeline, first the timeline will change the sequence settings or your project settings to match that clip. So if I drag a 1080p clip over to my timeline, it'll now be a 1080p, it'll assume it's a 1080p project, so it'll make the sequence a 1080p one. So now when I drag over here, which is probably much larger than 1080p, it's gonna be much larger, right? Now, how do I size stuff down? What the hell? I don't see any controls here I can drag. What am I going to do? Now you have your effect control panel. The effect control panel will be able to handle all your basic stuff, all the basic stuff, be your position, scaling, your rotation, anchor points, opacity. These are the ones you're going to be mostly using. So now if I want to scale it down, as in make it a bit smaller, I can just go to the scale and let's make that 50. Now if I play it, perfect scale, then the video starts. So that is how you basically work with multiple sources in your timeline. You can also do images. If I drag these images over, remember, always drag on top, not below. Same with the images. I can go over the image because this looks creepy huge. Make that scale 40. That's still too huge. 10, and bam. So if I want that to be, say, always showing in the bottom right, left, right, bottom right of my video, I can just use the position, these position sliders right here to drag it. Now it's too big, I can make it a nice little 5. Actually, let's make it a 2. That is huge, what the hell? Drag it. Oh Lord, sometimes you might drag it a bit too over and not notice. Drag it over there, drag it right nicely in the corner, and drag it over here because I want it to be during the whole video, right? Now what you just saw there is just basic video editing techniques. These are your timeline basics. You know, this stuff you're going to be doing day in, day out if you're going to be editing. Some of it gets annoying, some of it does get easier, some of it you can streamline once you get into a flow of things. You'll notice that. But for this first video, that's pretty much what I want to cover. And the last thing is exporting your video. Now, exporting your video can get a bit messy. In Adobe Premiere. But let me show you the quick basics of it. You highlight all your footage. You can do that easily by just pressing Control A. Control A will basically highlight all your footage, and just press Control M or Control Shift, Control Command M, Control. I don't know what you're going to be doing when you're on Apple, but you know how to do it. you find a way. So now that I'm here, Adobe Premiere actually offers so many formats, in exporting. It's beautiful how Adobe Premiere handles this. So right here on your format settings, in your export settings, you'll see a quick format drop down, and you can basically choose right here what you want your video to be. So for the most part, if you're going to be exporting to YouTube, a great one to use is this H26 Blu-ray. Actually, not just H26 Blu-ray, let's just say H26. This is your MP4 videos that you're going to be exporting, and here your preset can be used depending on where you want the video to be, or where the video will be shown, you know. So there are some presets for Twitter, there's some presets for Vimeo, for YouTube, just standard high quality presets for Facebook. It's beautiful. You can mess around with these however you want. Here you have all your other panels, your audio, multiplexer, captions. Honestly, for the most part, I don't know what these do. These multiplexer, captions, publish, I've never really used them when I do my editing, my video editing. So you forgive me if I don't understand what exactly they're for. And here is where you can do all your basic audio settings. You can change your codecs, your sampling rate, your channels, pretty basic, simple audio stuff. Your video, you can change the video resolution, the frame rate, pretty basic stuff also. So you can mess around with these however you want to just see how you, like if you're really interested in the differences in these exporting settings. And down here you can start your queue. You can queue up multiple videos. You can, this will actually use the Adobe Media Encoder. If you have it, definitely queue all your videos up there. It's perfect. You can export directly, edit some of your metadata. So many arms, damn it. Yeah, so this is going to be estimated file size right here. So as you change your settings, you might see your file size get larger, you might see it get smaller. So if you're going to be editing and exporting high quality videos, I'm talking about some 1080p 40-minute videos, your file sizes are going to get quite big, you know. So keep that in mind when editing. Always have that in mind. Let's give it a nice little export. Replace what? Oh, the output name. You can change the output name right here to whatever video you want. Test video 1, save, export. That takes about, you know, I don't know, however long your specific software is going to take is basically how long this whole process will take. So on more powerful computers, this is a breeze. It doesn't even take a second. Okay, it does take a few seconds, a few minutes actually. So whatever PC you have, it will take some time. But I know with much lower end, lower range PCs or laptops, it might be a bit of a struggle, and you might have to wait a bit longer for some of your videos to export. But hey, make sure 100% sure that you always save before you export, because if you don't, it's a mess. It's just gone. I can't explain to you how many projects I've lost by not saving before I export. So hey, if you want to stay safe in this video editing world, always save, always. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the basics of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. So in the next video, I'll be going over using the effects panel, all the kind of effects you can use, adding effects to your footage, adding effects to your sound. It's going to be amazing. See you guys in the next video. Also, don't forget to check out my Twitch. I do some live streaming, I do some gaming. People seem to enjoy it, so I'll be doing it. Come check me out. Quentin Twitch TV/Quentin Creates. If I'm not too lazy, I'll add like a fancy link thing here. Like, wow! But if I'm too lazy, it'll just be me moving my hands. Anyways, stay safe, wear your masks, always. Peace.